Now, I noticed that you're passionate about leadership development. So how can women in their 40s and beyond discover their leadership potential and thrive in technical fields like engineering?
Yeah, mid-40 and beyond. I mean, you're done hopefully with school, if you're done with your master or PhD degree. So now you just want to leverage those skills. With every change happening around us with the AI and the technology, you have to be adaptable. You have to adopt new skills. You can't just say, oh, I graduated 10 years ago. I have my credential. I'm a PE. I'm a master. I don't need anything else. That doesn't work in this world now. With all the generation, with all the technology keep changing every second, if you get scared and not willing to change, you're gonna miss that train.
As we navigate the complex and often challenging world of engineering, it's no secret that women face unique obstacles, especially as they progress into leadership roles in their 40s. It's a critical stage where resilience and leadership skills become more vital than ever. In this video, Sairan Aqrawi, M.Sc, the design coordinator team lead at the Washington Metropolitan Area Transit Authority, WMATA, will explore the strategies and skills that can help women in their 40s to rediscover their leadership potential and thrive in the engineering field. I am your host, Tiffany Tichy, and this is the Women in Engineering podcast. And with that, let's jump right into today's episode. Now it's time to jump right into the main segment of our episode. Today, I have with me Sairan Aqrawi. Sairan, welcome to the Women in Engineering podcast.
Thank you so much, Stephanie, for having me.
All right. Can you start by telling us about yourself, your career journey, and how you've managed to thrive beyond 40 in both engineering and business coaching?
Thank you, Stephanie, for the question. Yes, the midlife, things that all women, especially in STEM and technology and engineering, when we reach a certain age, we feel like we have to do everything perfectly. And I'm here just to tell you that I can use the balance word rather to be friend with the both changes on the age and the career. So when you hit your 40 and above, you kind of like skilled at your engineering job. And this is the time that you can pivot and find out a side business that merge both your passion and skills together. So I have over 30 years engineering in tech. My bachelor is civil engineering, my master in system integration and engineering management. While I was preparing for my doctoral at George Washington University, I was introduced for mentoring and speaking for the younger engineer at the Women in Engineering at GW. And that's when I found out my passion about speaking and guiding and educating younger, generation. I have not completed my doctoral, and I don't think I'll ever go back, with all respect to all the doctorate degree in engineering. Nothing bad about that. But I felt like, to me, I feel like I can have my fingerprint and impact somewhere else. Like with my engineering skill, and my brain is wired in as a problem solver. And we always look at even life issue as an equation that we need to solve. I found out that coaching and mentoring, it's something that I can really thrive on. So I started a small business. I had an old niche before. I used to coach international tech women who come to United States and who are seeking their American dream. I done that niche for about 4 years, and I just changed it last year to business coach for midlife women. I'm midlife age, so I know how it's feel when you are in your mid-50, you kind of like already skilled in your tech job, and in engineering, you get paid well, but at the same time, you want to find joy in something. You want to hear those women come to me and said, I look forward to go to work, not only, whining about their boss or whining about the environment, it's toxic. I tell them there has got to be a way to make your work life more enjoyable. And the client, most of them, they come and they said, it's strange because we got everything lined up. We have the job, it's paid well. The husband is wonderful. He help out around the house. The kids are A student. I have $1 million house, but I'm not happy. Something missing. And I said, what is missing? They said, we feel we got everything. I said, then where is the joy? Why it's buried? We don't know. And that's how I know that they lost the sense of belonging, the sense of leaving impact. You want to do something that you feel a change on others. It's still good to go to work and make 6 figures and make a lot of money. Nothing wrong with that. You still have to pay. You have to be logic. You have to pay every expense and bills we all have, right? Mortgage, kids, and everything. But at the same time, you love to do something that you see the change and impact on others. And this is how I know this is really my hidden gem, and I have to bring it to the service and share it with others.
I love it. I love it. I mean, that's the biggest piece. I had just told somebody, you got to have that joy, and you don't want to miss that joy. So you touched it right there. So thank you for sharing that. Now, I noticed that you're passionate about leadership development. So how can women in their 40s and beyond discover their leadership potential and thrive in technical fields like engineering?
Yeah, mid-40 and beyond. I mean, you're done hopefully with school, if you're done with your master or PhD degree. So now you just want to leverage those skills. With every change happening around us with the AI and the technology, you have to be adaptable. You have to adopt new skills. You can't just say, oh, I graduated 10 years ago. I have my credential. I'm a PE. I'm a master. I don't need anything else. That doesn't work in this world now. With all the generation, with all the technology keep changing every second, if you get scared and not willing to change, you're gonna miss that train. I always say self-development and professional development is like a train. It just goes by so quick. If you don't stop and think about it, how those changes will help me. How can I thrive? How can I adapt those new skills? So beyond mid-age for women, even for men, that doesn't mean you just stay stagnant in your job and say, okay, it's being paid well, I'm done. There is no finish line. And being an engineer, I don't feel like I will ever quit. I will never quit. I feel like there is a lot to learn. Every time I get to something and I feel like, oh my God, there is a lot of other area I haven't even touched. Imagine, I mean, civil engineering and system integration, and my passion now in AI. I love to know a lot about AI. I attend AI network. I talk with the AI expert because I don't want to be afraid from that change happening. I want to be friended. I want to know about it. Not necessarily be expert and teach it, but don't avoid it. Don't deny it. The change is happening. So there is a lot of room in midlife, career. There is a lot of room for improvement. You just don't have to be afraid. You just have to embrace all those changes.
That's good. That's good. I mean, like you said, AI is the thing right now. So not being afraid. A lot of people are like, oh, what are we going to do with this? But what can you do to adapt to change? And I love how you shared that with it.
Yeah.
That's key. Yeah. That's key. Now, what are some unique challenges you faced as a woman engineer in your 40s? And how have you navigated them?
I get that question many times. I got it in my 20, I got it in my 30, I got it in my 40. I think that's challenges, and not feeling equal to everyone will stay. You can't change that. You can't eliminate it totally. Even if you get 100 of degree, even if you become a CEO of the company, there will be still some level of people who question your skills. They will question your, if you are competent or not. I believe in my case, I came 27 years ago to United States, and I've been questioned many times on the conference room while I'm another engineer, male and female. Let's talk about male because, construction is a male dominant, and then you have 90% of the room is full of men. You will see only 2 or 3 women sitting on the table. What's worked for me, Tiffany, I think I only focus on my growth. I was listening to the critic. I was listening sometimes to judgment that was not doing me any, it was not fair at all. But I was more focusing on the end result. How can I take that critic to be more prepared the next time? So I'll give you an example. When I was younger, I would go to those engineering, conferences and meeting, very excited. I'm young. Oh my God, I got the opportunity to be the team lead. There's people working for me, all that excitement and, the happiness show in your face. And not necessarily I was able to prepare for those meetings. So I would go, yes, I know my materials. I have a degree. I was able to answer the question, but I was not prepared for the challenges. And as I age and I hit my 40 and become more skills, I learned before I enter any room to have my facts, everything dated and facts and number in my pocket. So for example, if someone challenged you and he said, how comes you rejected my design? I think best practice is 18-inch. And I would say, where did you see the 18-inch? He said, best practice, I used to do it. Where is in the book? Well, the manual chapter 6.17, it says should be 17.8, not 18-inch. So when you are precise and concise, the person in front of you cannot challenge you anymore. If you just go and say, oh, by practice, I've been doing this, it's always been 18-inch. Where, which book? What is a manual? We go by book, right? Engineer, you can make 0.001 is a big deal for engineering. There is a precise here, right? If you are not correct, disaster happen. So when you go to those meetings, you have your skills and wisdom and also prepare by fact. You know the date, when we approved it, what's happened, the status. People will take you seriously. It's come from you. Don't expect any man in the room give you value and take you serious if you are not taking yourself serious. It's come within you. You have to be so prepared. You have to be competent. And your confidence will show so much you don't believe. They see it in your forehead. Not messing with her. She's well prepared. I'm not messing with her.
That's good. Oh, you are dropping some knowledge and some tips and gems. I love it because it's so real as far as being prepared. They always tell us with engineering, trust but verify. So when you said come with ready, that's what's key. So I love how you talked about that. Now let's talk about, how has your perspective on career growth and success evolved as you've entered the midlife stage of your career?
I think I felt it even before COVID. I mean, before even I pivot to start a business, I get to a point I said, okay, now do I really need to do this for the rest of my life? Is this the only thing that I can offer to the community and to the world, solving equation and designing bridges and houses? Nothing wrong with that. It's perfect. I believe everything in the world is go back to engineering. We calculate everything. Even when you throw a Thanksgiving event in your house, it's go by engineering. You have to have the budget, the number, what you're going to buy, everything. Even I even tell my sister who's a doctor, I said, even medical field is engineering. If you open heart surgery, or if you do 1/2 inch, mistake, you jeopardizing the patient, right? Safety. So everything in life is engineering. I feel like the pivot happened when I realized that just go by, the degree and do the, medium job, just pick up my paycheck and go home happy. That's not what I've been brought to this life for. I feel like I can do way better. I have something on me. I need to get it out. And I have a daughter who just turned 20. When I see her, she reminds me about myself. I want her to be better than me 100 times. And this generation, so different than ours. I mean, you are younger than me, I'm sure, but speaking about me, I graduated 100 years ago, right? When I look at them, I feel like because they have not been through a lot of challenges, they take everything for granted and they feel that if they come to work, I always tell my son and my daughter, there will be no red rug play for you to start a job. You have to grind and work and work and work. And guess what? I always tell them, you're not going to see the result. It's going to take time until you see that gem. It's not going to happen overnight. But because now everything technology, and they hear about those people who quit their college and they do an app and they become a millionaires, they feel that the money is the answer. The money is essential. The money is important. Without money, I cannot pay any bills. But is that what's going to bring me fulfillment? No, you have to leave an impact to feel fulfilled. Without
Yes.
impact, you don't feel fulfilled.
Yes. That's good. That's good. Yeah, it's more than just the money. You got to have some impact that you're making, because it brings a whole different feeling in life, in your
Yes.
purpose and everything. So I
Yes,
love that.
sense
I
of
love that.
belonging. You feel there is a purpose. There is
Mm-hmm.
a Robert Greene talk about it in the Mastery book, I think chapter 1, when he talk about finding your life purpose. Jack Canfield talk about it in the Success book when he talked, I think chapter 39, he said, focus on your core genius, meaning that mastery, it doesn't come overnight. None of those athlete or speaker or those CEO, they become who they are in 1 day or 48 hours. It's a journey. You have to take all the up and down, and it's the skills that you have to master. When you become a black belt in your field, no one can mess with you. But if you just come that you just had a degree and you're sitting picking up your paycheck, you are just like anybody else. Nobody will take you seriously.
It's good. It's good. Whew. Listen, I'm taking some notes myself. I love it. I love it. Now, can you talk about, in your experience, how can women engineers reframe midlife as an opportunity for growing and rediscovery, both personally and professionally?
It's a good question. So most women, when they reach their mid-50, they're already thinking about, how can I exit? And they get to this point, the kids are in college, they will be empty nester in a couple of years. Mine is 18 months apart, so I'm going to be empty nester in 2 years. They're going to leave, I don't know, go to their apartment or whatever, they go out of the house. And when I get those clients, they are already depressed, thinking about 2 years ahead because they're going to be empty nester. And in coaching, when we get licensed, I become an ACC, they teach us to tweak always any negative connotation to positive word. So like tweaking the word. Empty nester, why empty nester? Oh, the kids left. Well, fill it. Fill it with pivoting. Fill it with a small business. Don't always feel sorry for yourself. Your son left and he didn't call you on Mother's Day. That's not the end of the life. It's sad, right? I mean, I will be upset if you don't call me on Mother's Day, right? If you leave. But that should not stopping you from innovation. Don't call yourself empty nester. Fill it. Fill it with innovation. Fill it with ideas. Be brave enough in your midlife and 40 and 50 and say, I'm starting a business. A lot of successful business start after 50 because you settle with your career, you got the money, the kids older now, they are not teenage. So you might thrive after you're 50. So don't call yourself, empty nester. Another word that I don't like when the client said, oh, I'm mid-age crisis. Where does the crisis come from? Why we always repeat those negative words and we complain that this word being labeled to us? You keep saying it. Don't say midlife crisis. Don't mid-age crisis. Call it mid-age surprises or prices with a trophy. Think about it. I didn't have that courage to start a business when I was in my 30s. So guess what? My crisis, mid-age crisis, it was a crisis to me because I was able to have the skills and the confidence and wisdom. I said, I'm starting a business. I never thought in a million years in my 30s, I'll start a business. I didn't have that confidence. I didn't have that courage. So guess what? It was not crisis when I hit my 50. It was a crisis. It was the trophy that I gained. I said, I told my husband, I'm starting a small business. I'm not going to make million in a year, but I'm going to start small and I will climb the ladder as I go. So women, I feel like sometimes we are guilty of the narrative and the story we tell ourselves, and then we blame others. I'll give you a funny example. I had some in my other job before I work in Metro. I was in a private company. And I had those younger engineers who just graduated, let's say 2-3 years, before. So they were a younger engineer coming and work for the consulting company. And they were telling me when they enter the meeting room, they always sit behind the table or they sit close to the exit. And I asked them, why you don't come and sit beside me? I have a chair. Oh, no, you are on the table. Of course, I'm older. I said, it's okay. There's a chair. No, it's okay. I think I need to be beside the door because when I sneak out to use the bathroom, no one is noticed. I said, what is the bathroom to do with coming and sit on the table? Because if I use the bathroom, I'll just like, is there is a rule that prevent you to use the bathroom if you are sitting on the table, right? And then they choose to sit where the exit is, where the door is. And after the meeting, when they don't have a chance or they don't have that exposure on the table, they complain that the chief engineer or the guys didn't take them seriously. And I am very bold when I tell them that. I said, you know why they didn't take you seriously? Because you did not take yourself seriously. It started with you. You chose to sit where the last chair beside the door, excusing using the bathroom, which has nothing to do with the subject. I am on the table and I use the bathroom between breaks. No, there is no book against that, number one. Number two, if you don't speak up and if you don't have an opinion, not necessarily you talk all the time, but if you don't have, don't contribute to the meeting, why are you expecting others to give you the value? You haven't given it to yourself. You have to own it. When you have the degree and the confidence, own it. It's the same thing you're wearing that navy blue shirt now. Love that blue shirt. Even if I don't like it, don't worry about you own that blue. You love it. You wear it. You don't care about own it. You bought it. You pay money for it. Even if I don't like that color, say, guess what? I'm owning my moment. I'm wearing that blue shirt. So when I see you are very confident, guess what? I only have one option. I have to take you seriously because you give yourself a value. I have no other option not to give you value.
That's good. That's good. And that's what's key. You got to be able to value yourself and be able to, that's that whole love yourself before anybody else love you type thing.
Exactly. So it's similar to that. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's good. Now you've talked about the business. Let's go into that side of things. Can you share some strategies you use to help women in midlife rediscovery as far as their passions and launch of the successful side business?
So this is how I go by. Every time I want to put the engineering mind to sleep, it pop up when I do business because I've been doing it for 30 years. So I can't just let my engineering, mindset to sleep. So this is how I tell them when they start a small business. Of course, Stephanie, you know that very well. The start is the hardest things because you are comfortable. You're making money or paycheck. You go home. You are, on your phone, making plans for the weekend. There is no challenge. So the start, it's so hard. You feel like the legs is on the mud. You can't even pull them out of the mud. So that's where my engineering might come, and I explain to them. I said, do not come to me talking about starting a small business if you are not clear what do you want exactly. So clarity to me is the foundation. You can't build any building if you don't have the foundation. Your foundation solid, concrete, then you can bring the building up. Again, the engineering mindset. So what is the foundation? Clarity. You have to be clear what do you exactly want. I have women come to me, they said, I'm 40, I didn't have kids yet. I want to have a baby. I want to go back doing my master, and I want a promotion, and I want to relocate. Okay, how? Right? Be reasonable. Put it on perspective and priority, right? When you clear, Stephanie, life becomes much easier. And this is exactly when you go to a restaurant, you drive to a restaurant that you've never been there. You have two roads. You have the highway and you have the back road. If you are not clear, you can't give the both direction to the navigator. You're going to confuse the navigator and yourself. So you are clear which road you are taking to that restaurant. Clarity come in everything. When you go to a restaurant, you are clear what you're going to order. You're not going to order everything on the menu, right? So you are clear back then too. Same thing with business. Don't come and say, I want to have a business. I want to travel. I want to speak. I want to write a book. It doesn't work like that. Clarity is the foundation. What is come above the foundation of every building, then you build up. It's come the focus and the action. So I tell my client, okay, now did we gain clarity? They said, yeah, now I'm clear what I want. Okay, are you committed? Oh, I wish. No. Are you committed? No, I dream. Are you committed? I say committed like 7 times. I hate myself. What do you mean? Are you committed to do the work? You gain the clarity. Are you committed to do the homework? My program is 28 days. Are you committed for all the tasks I'm going to give you in 1 month? If you are not committed, I'm sorry, you are with the wrong coach here. You are venting. You are wishing and dreaming in the cloud. This is not the place for you. I'm very bold in my direction. I want you to go from A to B to C to Z, right? I'm not here that you vent that your life is not aligned with your dreams. Come with clarity, have the commitment, and let's do the action and see the result.
I love it. That's key. And I love how you tied in the engineering thought process with it.
Yeah.
The foundation. It starts with the foundation and being clear. So this is, you're good.
The brain
you're
is
good.
the IQ and the EQ. It's like merging,
Yes.
like the IQ got to marry the EQ, the emotional
Yes.
intelligence and all of that. Otherwise, it doesn't
Yes.
work.
Yes, it's good. It's good. Now talk to me. How do you balance the technical demands of your engineer career with work as a business coach, helping women find their niche?
You mean balancing? How I do both, the time management?
Yes, but let me tell you, I don't even call it balance. I always call it like work-life integration, work-life harmony.
Like you.
Yes.
I like you now because you took the
Yes.
balance. I don't like that word.
I don't either. Me either.
Now I like you more. Yeah,
Yes.
you're integrating both. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Because the balance, when you do both, when you multitask and do things, you're going to do both wrong. You're going to do both 50%. And that's not my goal. My goal is if you do it engineering, you do it 100%. If you're going to do business today I took off because I did business stuff. So I took off from my engineering. So I turned that off. Then I'm doing, the business for women. The focus is coming this way. If you have a task, let's say if you want to write a blog or article for a magazine, right? And there's a due date for it. You have to write that article. It's a big deal. It's published globally, blah, blah, blah. It's a big thing in your, LinkedIn. If you just give it a medium energy and you come like, oh, I'm going to write it afternoon. I just came back from work. I had my, my meal. Let me watch something in Netflix. That article will come not even 50%. But if you really designate something, a time and a spot to read and write, that materials will come out as a mastery. It's just like earning a black belt in something. You don't want just to go and just be part of the thing. You want to elevate. You want to be scale up. You want to be master in that things. So when you write that article or you do that speaking gig, it will come out perfect because you designate time for it. So there is no balance. You can integrate, like you said. I love that word. You can perhaps maybe make a meal, eat, answer your emails, and that's it. I always remember, who's more successful? Jeff Bezos in Amazon. He said, people telling me how I'm an electrical engineer and end up being, the owner of Amazon and all of that. He said, people make it difficult to themselves because they have a list of 12 things a day. He said, for me, if I master 3 tasks, I have a successful day. And I believe in that. 3 things. If you tackle 3 things in a day, you achieve a good day. That's a gold day. But if you put 12 things, you're going to do each one of them 20%, 20%, 20%. You haven't done any of them 100%. And that's not achievable.
That's good. That's good. Oh, you're giving some good tips and knowledge and quotes and everything. I love it. I love it. Okay. So as we continue on and we're getting close to the tail end of things, from your experience, how does effective communication play a role in helping midlife women rediscover their strengths and thrive in both their careers and personal lives?
Well, communication is so essential. If you are a good communicator, you don't need anything else. People will just point to you in every organization and every job. If you really know how to communicate with others, especially with difficult people, you will be always in those leadership roles, people telling you she's the one who has all the answer. And actually, you don't have the answers. You are just a good listener. And being a good communicator equal to good listener. When you manage a team, most of the time your team upset about something, it's to you, it's very minor. All they need from you to communicate well with them and listen to them. Sometimes they just want to vent, they have a bad day. So if you are a manager or a supervisor and you have a younger engineer under you, to communicate well with them, you need to check and be in their circle from time to time, asking them, how is everything? Does everything work out well for you? You don't need to give them answer. They are not looking for your answer. You are not a magician. You don't have all the answer. Just listen to them. And when they know that you are listening to them and they are part of the conversation and they are part of the communication with you, they will do a better job because they don't feel that you are there just to give them order, to tell them what they have to do because you signed their paycheck. But if they have a say, if they have an input, you don't have to clap all the time for them. They don't even need your clap. They just need you to listen to them. And to me, a great communicator is a great listener.
That's good. That's good. It's key, listening, because if you don't listen, then you're not meeting the needs of them and knowing what they really are asking for or wanting. So I love that. So we're going to finalize this. As we are finalizing this, what final piece of advice do you have for women over 40 who want to pivot or take on new challenges in their engineering careers?
I would say have faith on the message that you want to reach to the universe. Put the work on, keep going, don't look back, insist on it, don't give up. It will come one day. Dreams do come true.
It's good. Just like that. So I think you were talking to me throughout this whole time because I am 40 and up. So you are being a great example, a great role model and giving some great tips. How can people maybe get in touch with you further if they wanted to get in touch with you in any way, from any platforms or any website or anything?
Yeah, they can find me on LinkedIn. And I have my calendar over there for complimentary 20 minutes guidance and clarity. If they mention your name, I will give them 1 hour free consultation.
Oh, look at you. Okay. Yeah. Love it. Love it. Well, I want to say thank you so much. You are amazing, phenomenal woman. And I'm so thankful for the opportunity to meet you and be able to share all these great gems you've been given. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Thank you for listening. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you won't miss our upcoming episode featuring interviews with inspiring women engineers, discussions about industry trends, and much more. Go to womeninengineeringpodcast.com where you will find a summary of the key points discussed in today's episode, as well as links to any of the resources, websites, or books mentioned during this episode. Until next time, may your engineering endeavors be as remarkable as the women whose stories we're sharing. Stay curious, keep innovating, and engineer a better future.